How's it going, guys? I'm Connor from Running Warehouse, and today I'm here with Eric. He's the RW head buyer, an ultramarathon veteran, and we are going to be reviewing the shoe that I think every trail racer has had their eyes set on for the past year when we saw glimpses of the original prototype. This is the Nike ZoomX Ultrafly.
Yeah, Connor, we've had this in our minds for the last couple of years. We've been hearing about it. It's been on the few pros. They've done well, won some races. I was lucky to get a prototype on my feet, check that out, and now we got the real deal here. I'm excited to check this out and see what it can do.
Yeah, you know, we've seen super shoes on the road, on the track, and Nike finally came out with a true trail super shoe. It was only a matter of time before that innovation trickled on over into the trail space, and I think the wait was worth it. They executed well with this shoe, and I think with super shoes, and especially this shoe, there's a lot to talk about, but it only makes sense to start off with the midsole. Now, we've got 100% full-length ZoomX foam. We've seen ZoomX in some other trail shoes like the Zagama, but it was only partial. Now we've got full-length, 100%. You feel the bounce, you feel the responsiveness, you feel a little bit of that softness, everything you want in a trail racer.
Yeah, and this shoe is designed for the long distance. It's not going to have the same feel as the Vaporfly on the roads. It's not going to have the same pop. The midsole is tuned for the trails and for long distance. This is a 100-mile shoe. So you're going to get a shoe with this midsole that is adapted to that distance.
Yeah, and when we talk about maybe the Vaporfly, one difference in this is it does have that fabric wrap. You can see it around the midsole, and that's just gonna add a little bit of durability. Again, tuning it for the trail. But this shoe isn't just about performance. There is also a little bit of a protection component with those higher stack heights. I measured my size 9 at about 36 millimeters, 8.5 mil drop. So you have a substantial amount of foam underfoot, but it actually also feels pretty nimble for how cushioned it is. I took it on some technical trails. It ran really well. And I mean, I think you're gonna see people wear this in a pretty wide variety of trail distances, but that ultra marathon distance is probably where it's gonna shine. There's a reason we saw 2 of the top 3 pros wear it at Western States.
Yeah, and it really excels at the longer distances. So it has enough cushion for a lot of people to go that 50 to 100 mile distance. Some people are gonna say it needs a little more cushion if they wanna do the full 100, but it has a good amount. I even had this on the roads quite a bit, did some good road running, cushion there. This shoe is not gonna have the same pop as a Vaporfly on the roads, but it's not supposed to. It's supposed to excel on the trails, which it does.
All right, next on up, let's move on into the plate. Plates on the trail side get a little bit tricky because as opposed to the roads, we've got uneven surfaces, which makes it hard when you put a stiff carbon plate in the shoe, but I think Nike executed really well. Now, from a design perspective, the plate is basically forked up in the forefoot and it extends down past the midfoot, and it gives a nice blend of stiffness and also flexibility. I found on the uphills, you get a really nice, aggressive, efficient feel. You just fly up the ups, and then when you go on the downs, even on some more technical terrain, it really adapts well with a variety of surfaces and just feels natural on foot.
Yeah, that forked plate is going to give you a little bit of flexibility, so when you're stepping on uneven surfaces, you have that flex, but then also that wide base is also going to provide some stability. So the wide base, the foam, the plate, all combined to give you a very stable surface to run on, but still enough flexibility for those rocky terrain.
Yeah. And we talked, again, about the foam, about the plate, and a lot of people with super shoes would say, that's the hype, that's the exciting part, but for me, I think with the Ultrafly, what gets me excited is we now have a true trail outsole, the debut of the Vibram Mega Grip. We've been waiting for it. People have been maybe complaining a little bit that over the past few years, they'd want a little bit more bite, want a little bit more stickiness with the rubber compound. You can't complain anymore because this Vibram sticks to any surface. I've taken it on technical terrain, moderate trails, even again some roads, and it just feels good. I will say that the lugs aren't huge, so if you were taking this on the most technical terrain, yeah, maybe you'd want a little bit more lug length, but I think for ultra marathon distances where you're running on such a wide variety of terrain, having this versatile lug layout works really well.
Yeah, this shoe is not going to be designed for your most rugged terrain. It's going to be for that mixed terrain, flat out running. It's going to go fast. And a good point about the outsole, I had a chance to run in the prototypes a bit. It was a great shoe, but I wasn't quite as secure in everything that I was running on because of the outsole. Now with the Vibram outsole, great grip, a lot more security. I found my confidence going into downhills going into corners a lot more.
All right, Eric, wrapping the shoe together, we've got the Vapor Weave upper, and we've seen Vapor Weave in the past, and this is definitely a more trail-specific version that really offers a nice lightweight feel while still having some nice strategic support that's gonna last some of those longer distances. It's a little bit roomy, but you still get that snug, secure fit, a really good balance for a race day shoe. And overall, not huge complaints with this upper. I felt it fit good. It was really breathable. I went through some river crossings and it actually shed water pretty quickly. I think this is a nice upper that just really wraps the shoe together.
Yeah, I agree with everything you said. It's durable. It has a very nice finish to it, so it's secure. It's nice in the midfoot, so you're not going to slip out. You talked about a little extra room in there. Definitely geared towards the ultramarathon. So late stage races or training, you need a little bit more room. If your feet's swelling, it provides it, but without being too loose. It's a durable upper, it fits well, it drains well, it's a winner.
Well, you know, Eric, between you and I, we accumulated a few hundred miles on the Ultrafly, and we're slightly different runners. You come from a trail background, I'm more on the track and road side, but I enjoy running on the trails. And I think the final question here is, what's gonna be the end use for this shoe? For me, I think it's gonna be used a pretty wide variety of trail days. I think it's gonna do well for some of those faster long runs, maybe some faster hill repeats out on the trails. And I think even if I started trail racing, anything from half marathon, maybe even pushing up to a 50K if I get a little crazy, I think right now this would be my shoe of choice.
Yeah, and the thing to remember is it's a racing shoe, so it's not going to be for everybody. Some people are not going to feel it's going to have enough protection in their foot, enough cushion, but if you want to go fast, this is the shoe that you're going to look for. And again, some people might say 50 miles is as far as it's going to go. Some people are going to say it's 100, but keep in mind, it's a racing shoe, so you got to go fast in it to feel good.
Yeah, well, you know, I'm so excited to finally try out the trail super shoe. The Ultrafly lived up to the hype, and I'm just excited to see where Nike continues with this shoe. They've proven on the track and the road, and now we've got a true super shoe for the trail. If you're looking to try the Ultrafly for yourself, you can find it now here at Running Warehouse.